Hi, my name is Laura. I live in a small town in eastern Iowa, and today I'm going to show you what I make for dinner for my family for a week. And I'm starting off by making some hamburger buns. This is a bread machine recipe that is so easy. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description below. I found this while doing the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge, and I originally used it to make hot dog buns. But today we're making some, let's see, it'd be a fried chicken Caesar salad sandwich, I guess. So I'm just gonna make my dough balls and get those all done nice and tight and pinched it down in the middle as I formed them. So I've got them all done. I'm gonna put them on this pan. Next time I do this for hamburger buns, I'm going to space them out way more because they kind of puffed up a bit like rolls. So I'm gonna let those set. They've risen again, and I just threw together a quick egg wash, and I'm using some of my fresh eggs I have from my chickens in my backyard, throwing a little bit of water. I'm just going to brush the tops of these with a good egg wash. Now, if I had sesame seeds, I would have put them on this, but I don't have any, but I do have some everything bagel, which has sesame seeds in it. So I'm just going to top half of them with this. My husband did not want them, so he ate the plain. My son and I enjoyed the other ones. So I threw those in the oven. So I've got these chicken thighs that I got from Costco, and I'm thinking I'm just going to do a marinade. I have a little bit of this Italian dressing left in my fridge from a few months ago, to be honest. So throw that in there. The oil is a little thick because it's been in the refrigerator. I've also got a partial container here of Dijon mustard, and I ended up putting, I don't know, a few tablespoons of olive oil in this container, shaking it up just to get more out of it. My husband loves chicken sandwiches, so I was kind of going out on a limb here by making my own, but it was actually very good. And this marinade was amazing, but I am going to add some garlic salt to it. I think I ended up, that was way too much, but I think I ended up like maybe 2 teaspoons. Give that a quick stir, and I'm going to open these chicken thighs, and I do drain out the juice because it's just too much sometimes, especially with it being frozen and then thawed. And I never quite know how many thighs, but we got 4, which is great. We're a family of 3. So we each had a good hunk of chicken, and the little man had a lunch for the next day. So I'm going to put this in the fridge and just let it marinate for a little while. It's still early for me to make dinner, so we'll let that get nice and happy. Here's my buns as they came out. See what I mean? They kind of grew together like rolls. But next time I will space them out way different. So I want to have like a breadcrumb, but I don't have any breadcrumbs. I don't have any bread made. So instead, I'm going to use just some flour, some all purpose flour. I'll put some in here. I'm going to season it with some salt and pepper, and I'll use that as my dredge for my Dijon Italian marinated chicken thighs. I will note that I didn't put quite enough salt in this. I would have put more in, but I just never know sometimes with saltiness. Those are my buns just hanging out under the towel. So here we go. My chicken has been marinating, I would guess a couple hours at this point, and I'm just going to coat it in the flour. I do have some oil heating up on the stove, and I'm just going to start pan frying these. And once they get done, I'm going to transfer them to a baking sheet with a rack on it and put in the oven at like 200 degrees, just so they can stay crispy until it's time for dinner. Here we go. We're ready for dinner. Our chicken is nice and crispy, and so I'm going to get all of our nice plate started, and we'll start with these buns. Man, I tell you, these were some of the best. I just love this recipe. My husband says I don't need to buy Hawaiian rolls, I don't need to buy buns, nothing. The texture is wonderful. They're nice and soft. They keep pretty good in the fridge for, a few days after. Look at that, nice and soft. Amazing. And I'm going to find a smaller one for Oliver. And he won't eat his as a sandwich, but he'll eat all the components separately. So I'm just going to, look at that tear. I'm just going to tear his in half so it's easier to feed, easier to eat. And if you saw my Costco haul, I got a vegetable tray and it came with this ranch dip. Well, we didn't eat the veggies with the ranch, so we're going to use some of this as like as you would like a mayo for a sandwich and for Oliver to dip his chicken in. So I'm going to put some of that on there. And in this bowl that you kind of can't see, I threw it together that Caesar salad kit that we get from Costco a lot. And so we're going to put a nice layer of that on, even the croutons. And I'm going to pick a piece of chicken here. They were kind of big. I could have cut it in half, but it's fine. We make it work. And I am going to throw some extra salad on top, just for some extra crunch. You guys, this was the best sandwich we've had in a long time. It was so crispy, but warm. Just the combination of the warm chicken and the fresh salad, delicious. I served extra salad on the side because we have it made up. We need to eat it. So good. Highly recommend. Oliver ate all of his in the deconstructed phase. Husband got home. He made his. He enjoyed it. Fantastic. We made chicken sandwiches again tonight, but I also threw together some quick banana bread. I had some bananas frozen in the freezer. I'll leave the link to this recipe in the description box. It is so easy, so delicious. A bowl and a fork. Nice and easy. These are already gone. We finished them this week. Fantastic. And look at that color. I mean, come on. And I always make mine in these little mini loaves. Big loaf, we can never get through. Muffins is just another pan that I don't want to get out. This night, we just had baked potatoes with butter and chives. Super easy. It was a busy day. And this was delicious. So, if you followed me in the pantry challenge, we made like taco fries. Did the same thing. Taco meat, this nacho cheese I found in the fridge, some taco seasoning, and I made fries and threw it all on top, put it in the oven, got it melty and warm. Fabulous. This has become one of our favorite meals, and it kind of replaced the stereotypical taco night. We had this for 2 days. It was great. This is a snack I saw on social media where they take Triscuits and red pepper jelly and these little Babybel cheese, and they make like a savory s'more. So I want to try it. I'm watching March Madness right now. Go Iowa Hawkeye Women's. And yeah, we're going to try it. So my stove is already dirty from frying the chicken, so I didn't care if I dripped some cheese on it. Needs cleaned anyway. So I'm going to start by getting these nice and melty. We had a bunch of these left over. My son went through a phase where he really liked it, and then the I don't like it phase. So I'm trying to repurpose the Babybel, and this worked great. So I've just got 2 Triscuits, some red pepper jelly, and I'm just gonna, I tried to take it off like it would a marshmallow. It didn't work. And yeah, honestly, these were really good. I don't know that I would go out of my way to have Triscuits for it, but it was nice to have something different. And I would make again if I had all this stuff. Yeah, very good. It was a good snack. Well, we just survived a blizzard. And then another warm day, and now more snow. Mother Nature is up to something crazy. Morning. Yeah, it's snowing. So I realized with St. Patrick's Day just a couple weeks away, we're going to want to have Reubens later that week. So I needed to make some sauerkraut. So I'm taking the cabbage I bought, chopping it up, and making a simple sauerkraut. I do Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone's way. So we'll get that all shredded up. So for every head of cabbage, it's 1 tablespoon of salt. I use Redmond's real salt, and you just massage the salt into the cabbage, and you do it until you have enough cabbage juice, if you will, at the bottom. And I forgot to record after this, and so you won't see me put it into the jar or the extra juice, but here's what it looks like once it's in there. Excuse the freeze dryer project in the background. And I'm gonna let that sit for a few weeks. So tonight we're making an inspired version of chicken cordon bleu. So I'm just cutting, butterflying my chicken breasts. And this sauce I made also during the pantry challenge. It's a ham and Swiss cheese sauce. So I'm going to put some of the Swiss cheese sauce down in there. And it's still a little frozen, which is making it hard to get out, but easy to not make a mess. And that is some sliced ham from the freezer. Throw that in there. And I'm just going to use like a toothpick to kind of, well, it's an elongate, a really long toothpick to kind of hold it shut. Now, one thing I would do differently is I would have added way more of that cheese sauce to it just to keep it from being dry. Sometimes chicken breast can dry out, and I think I just would have liked a little bit more of that cheese. And I just coated it in Dijon mustard. And I'm taking 2 sleeves of Ritz crackers and crushing them up because I don't have bread made still, so I don't have breadcrumbs, and I wanted something more than just flour. And this turned out great. As I'm getting it done, I'm going to put it on a sheet pan lined with parchment. I'll get my other one dredged up, put it on there, and I baked this at about 350 for, I think it took 45 minutes to an hour to do. And this is what it looks like when it's done, nice and golden and cooked through. And I'm going to cut off a chunk for Oliver. We can see how it looks in the center as well. Looks pretty good. But like I said, more cheese next time. You can never have too much cheese. And I just threw some of the Normandy veg blend from Costco in a pan with some butter and heated that through. It was really good, and I hope you guys join me next week. Thank you for watching.